What it do, Jay?
What's up, my guys? I can't see, but it's doing the thing, guys. Today with the I can't see it, so I appreciate everybody for tuning in, guys. Welcome to another show, NBA Talk, NBA with SBR, my guys. Go to sbrpicks.com/NBA to check out all the content and articles we have over there. BlackJack, what's up, my guy? You good? We got BlackJack and we got Junior today. Now we're going to Junior first. He in the studio. What's up, Junior? Kyrie, you went Kyrie on us. Junior, you back today, my guy?
I swear to God, I was about to say I had to take a little Kyrie, take an example from Kyrie and just take some mental health days. It's rough out here in these betting streets, you know what I'm saying? They begin to you. But yeah, no, I drove back from the beach because I obviously couldn't work out there. I didn't want all of our loyal viewers to unretire their internet jokes, so I drove up to the studio to make sure that I supported my guys. I just want to know, how come Jay gets to work with Chelsea and me and BlackJack don't? What's up with that?
Hey, and BlackJack, people like Chelsea in there too. They're like, hey, we don't even need BlackJack Jr. We got the pretty lady over here, man. But yeah, no, it was nice, man. It was not. Now we miss you guys for the picks though. So we need, you know what I'm saying? We're trying to get some picks in here. So y'all know what we're doing. We're trying to cash today. Obviously yesterday had a boatload of games, guys. Happy to have you back, Junior. Happy to have both you guys. I'll be honest with you. I need you guys, man. I do. It was kind of tough yesterday. I'll be honest with you, but we got it done. It's a real nice day of games, BlackJack. Did you have any bets yesterday?
No, yesterday was a travel day for me. I'm down here in Kentucky today. Got some horse racing business to attend to at Keeneland this weekend. So travel day for me yesterday. But I'm dialed in today. I got this slate so molded perfectly today, Jay. There's nothing but wins here.
Oh, let's get it. Yeah, I don't know what my Skype's tripping out today, guy. I couldn't see when we first went live. It took a little time loading up, so sorry about that, my guys. But we are live. We ready to get to it, man. But yeah, just recap. Junior, did you have any plays yesterday? Did you anything point out to you yesterday, my guy, or just real quick before we get to today's game?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't watched a basketball game in like a couple of days. Haven't made a bet in a couple of days. I don't like to force plays, and I was just out there, kind of trying to just unplug. So no, I haven't made a play since the last time I was on the. Well, I made a play since the last time I was on the show, but I haven't made a play since probably Saturday or Sunday.
Got you. Hey, we're going to get to it, though. We're going to get to some NBA talk for sure, my guys. But yesterday, real quick, Blazers smack up the Pistons 124-101. The Heat come all the way back in that fourth quarter versus the Pacers. Got down 15 a couple of times. Come back and get that one done. Went way under. It's like a 90s basketball game. Heat 92-87. The Mavs whoop up on the Celtics. Celtics got they got a bunch of problems over there, guys. They do. They almost made the game close or whatever. Outscored them 35-23 in the fourth quarter, but they go down 113-108. The Rockets led the Nets pretty much the whole game. Obviously the Nets come out there. They weren't finna lose to the Rockets. Almost covered the spread as well. They ended up winning by 12. So guys that had the Rockets plus 12.5, you got real lucky on that one for them not to piss away that cover after covering the whole game. The Nets go up. They catch them on 120, 102, 108, my guys. Jazz. I had the Grizzlies. I had the Pants yesterday on BlackJack. The Pants moves to 7-0. Chelsea probably knows about the Pants now. Went on there. Grizzlies kind of got a little lucky, but hey, they lose the game, but cover for us. 111-107. Knicks pissed that game away versus the Timberwolves. I don't know how they did that. Timberwolves 102-101. OKC won. I'm sure they didn't want to, but they beat the Raptors. Why in the hell was the Raptors favored by 7.5 yesterday, guys? 113-103. That game ended up going. I'd put a little sum on that under too, guys. I couldn't believe it. It was going all the way over the total. Ended up going under for me, so I hate betting totals, but that one came through for me. Spurs get some revenge. 120-106. Bucks 112-97 over the Lakers. Drummond, the whole toenail came off over there. It's pretty tough. The Bulls. I hate to pat myself on the back, guys, but nobody was on the Bulls yesterday. Levine out, White out, Temple out. And you know what? The line didn't move up too much. It was still at 8.5. So the Bulls finna cash this shit. 6 game in 9 days for the Suns. I really like those type of spots because I really don't think that people look in that game deeply if you're taking the Suns there. Bulls get the cash. But on to today, my guys, let's get to it. We got first game up, Junior, 76ers versus the Cavs. Cavs come off a 40-point loss versus the Jazz. 76ers come off a couple of losses here. You liking anything in this one, Junior?
Yeah, I'm actually going pretty heavy on the Sixers first half for a couple of different reasons. They're a top 5 first half team, although that stat doesn't exactly translate to the road where they're not nearly as good as they are at home. But I just think that you mentioned something last season that really stuck with me, that you listen to the quotes coming out of the locker room, and all Doc Rivers keeps saying is the Cavs own us. The Cavs beaten us twice, and we haven't beaten them at all. Now they're coming off 2 straight losses. If there was ever a bounce back spot, I think that this would be it. Obviously, the players are kind of echoing Doc's message, where they're at least the way they're talking like the Cavs are a team to be respected, because for the simple fact they haven't beaten them, right? As a matter of fact, on this show, I faded the Cavs in that specific matchup when they had a full string team, including Embiid. Embiid dropped like 40-something, they still lost. But then the Sixers went on to win like 9 of 10 games from there. I think that Doc's message in that press conference that I watched was, we need to end this road trip with a 4th win. We've got 3 wins in 5 games. We're not going to use the excuse that Joel's out. We're going to get that 4th win. His players are echoing that. And I think they come out with a strong effort, because I'm not laying 9 points with these guys on the road. I'm just not. I know Cleveland's not a good team, but they're a scrappy team who's shown that they can play with these guys. I do think that Philly comes out with an extra level of defensive intensity, something that was missing in the last game that they lost to Denver. And, they pull out the first half -5.5. I took it at actually 5, but 5.5 is what's available now. So for the show, I'll say official play, Sixers first half -5.5.
Appreciate that, my guy. Appreciate that. Yeah, 5.5. I must say, Junior, it's a nice look. I'm with you. I'm hesitant to lay the full game. And this game was at 7.5 last night. It was up to 9.5, 10 across the board. Obviously, with the word that Jared Allen won't be playing this game. Obviously, let me see. There's one more player, Larry Nance Jr. as well. I believe he's out. They could get Kevin Love back today, but to be honest with you, I know they've owned them. I'm with Junior on this one. I think the 76ers get it done in the first half. BlackJack, you liking? Are you taking the Cavs here, BlackJack?
Do I look crazy?
A little bit. Nah, I'm messing with you, man.
No, I'm not taking the Cavaliers. No. And I like Junior's play. I'm going to go full game. I'm going to lay the 10 with Philadelphia. This is what Philadelphia does since Joel Embiid's out, right? They smack City against bad teams, and against good teams, they're on the receiving end of it. The Cavaliers are a mess. I mean, they're just an absolute mess right now. Philadelphia is going to destroy this team. I'm going to say they win by 16.
Got you. I thought you were going to say 60. Hey, that's a real deal Smack City spot there. Yes, I'll tell you, I'm not looking to back the Cavs here. They are coming off a terrible game, guys, but they're also coming off a 4-game road trip, coming back to the house. Had a couple of days of rest. They were without Jared Allen, who that's really going to hurt tonight. You know what I'm saying? No real inside presence. You're down Larry Nance Jr., one of your better players as well. So you're down to Sexton and Garland to try to, you know what I'm saying, to try to keep the reins here. Now, I don't see it. You got the real defensive group for the 76ers. They have a lot of defensive guards to stifle Sexton and Garland, in my opinion. It's just one of those things. Can they win down low? Can they win the points in the paint? I think the 76ers have their way with them. It's only better. So they're off a couple losses, and the Cavs have owned them. Nice little double revenge spot. Was surprised to see them lose that last one. They got it to go all the way to overtime. They lost in Philly, the last one. So I'm sure the 76ers are coming to play here. We probably should see their best game. I'm with you guys. A little hesitant laying on the full game. I like the first half. I hadn't bet on this game, probably won't, but yeah, Sixers first half. I think that's a nice look, Junior, to be honest with you, my guys. I usually stay away from games like this, but yeah, I might ride with you on that one. Next game up, Wizards versus Pistons here, BlackJack. This line opened up at 2.5. It's up to 3 for the Wizards here. Total sitting at 222.5. What we doing with this one, BlackJack? You liking the Pistons? You liking the Wizards? What we doing in the Tankathon?
When I saw this game on the slate today, I threw up in my mouth a little bit. This is god awful. This is, I mean, I for some reason I have a slight lean to the Pistons just because I'm just off the Wizards right now. But there's no way in hell I'd bet this.
This guy here, Isaiah Moore said when Jay said that it can't get to the hole easily, I almost lost it. Junior, what's up, my guy? Do you like this game? Did you just look at it and was like, I don't want to mess with it, or you like a play in this game? You think one of these teams might take it away?
If you gave me a free play, I'm taking Pistons money line. But you're not giving me a free play, so I'm not taking anything. I think the only value in this game really is the under 222.5. Pistons have a hard time scoring points. I'm going to name you the Pistons starting lineup for the last game. Jeremy Grant, Mason Plumlee, Sadiq Bey, Saban Lee, and Josh Jackson. Now, Jeremy Grant and Mason Plumlee scored 48 points. The other three individuals, Sadiq Bey, who I love, by the way, I love him, Villanova guy, Lee and Josh Jackson scored a combined 2 points. There's just not enough scoring to go around. If Jeremy Grant's going to give you 30 and three other starters are going to give you 2, that kind of paints a picture as to what the Pistons are right now. They have what? Their best player is what would you guys call Jeremy Grant? A top 60 player, probably 50, not higher than that, right? Nope. So, your best player would be at best the third or fourth option on most other teams in the NBA. It's not really a good look for you. And if you look at their injury list, it's a laundry list of dudes. Now, the reason I would take them on the money line, because I'm kind of like, almost talking myself out of it, is that they go so deep that I think the back-to-back situation affects them less than it does the Wizards. The Wizards bench is real short. The Pistons bench, it ain't great, but they're playing at least 10, 11, 12 guys on some nights. So I think the back-to-back affects them less. I think the back-to-back affects both of their scoring in terms of the total in this game. 222.5 seems pretty high, so the only look I could possibly have is the under. If you're asking me for a side, straight up go Pistons money line. Why not?
Got you. Yeah, and tough game, in my opinion. The Wizards, they kind of start to, with Bill sitting out these past couple games, and starting to wonder if they're even trying to win right now. Obviously, Westbrook's been giving them a couple of really good games. They won one, lost the last one. It's just I'm starting to really realize, I know that the coach is on the hot seat, and he can't really afford to tank or just to be losing games on purpose. They got to put their best effort out there, but it's like, do they even respect him as a coach? I do like this Wizards team a little bit more. I do think they have a little bit more upside than this Pistons team. The Pistons play really hard. They are coming off a back-to-back. Wizards are nothing for me. This is not the type of games that I get involved in. Maybe wait to see for the injury report. I do think one of these teams will informally tank this game away, maybe sit out a couple of key players. So that's always what I watch out for, these type of games. Obviously, be interested to see if Bradley Beal plays. He hadn't played the past couple games. You could possibly see an injury for the Pistons here if they're not trying to win this game. So this is when I wait to the last second. Obviously, you got to see what's up with Beal. You want to wait to see if there's any late injury BS with the Pistons. I could definitely see it. Lean Wizards for me. I don't bet these type of games, man. I feel like BlackJack. You can have this game, man. That's what BlackJack always say. Like, you can have this game, man. But yeah, my guys, let's get to the next one. Let's get to the next game, my guys. What we're gonna go to? Hornets versus. Gotta find the damn screen here. Okay, yeah, Hornets versus Nets. I don't know why my Skype tripping today, man. I like when they had a little box right there where I could see everything. I don't have to just, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure BlackJack know what I'm saying. Hornets versus Nets, my guys. Hornets versus Nets. This line opened up at Hornets -1. I was like, what the hell going on? Is Harden and Kyrie out? What's going on? We know the Hornets been hot, but BlackJack, we got a Nets game here. These two guys here. Junior, we're going to you first, my guy. We're doing Nets -3 today versus the Hornets, or the Hornets a little too hot?
Listen, get it right, my guys. The first place Brooklyn Nets as of yesterday. Yes, the first place Brooklyn Nets get it done at this weirdly cheap number that I got at -2.5. I'm actually kind of nervous. I'm not going to lie to you, because the line is trying to tell us something. Mm-hmm. It's speaking to us. What it's telling us, I'm not really too sure. It seems like Kyrie's going to play, and usually that's enough for me. Kyrie in the last 5 games, 33 points a game on 54% shooting. I've been trying to tell y'all, I don't care if he thinks that the earth is an isosceles triangle, bro. On the basketball court, he's cooking everybody in sight. Speaking of cooking everybody on sight, you know who plays for the Hornets? Scary Terry. Remember what Scary Terry said when he left Boston? Oh, Kyrie held me back. I think I could have done more, which he probably was right. He could have done more. Kyrie got something for Scary Terry tonight. 40-piece coming up. Brooklyn wins and covers. Book it.
40-piece nuggets, or what? I think McDonald's did like the 50-piece nuggets or something one time. That's a nice angle there, Junior. Must say that's something I didn't look at here. I think it's very scary that they open Hornets at -1. Obviously, Harden's not going to play here. He's already been ruled out. He didn't come into yesterday's game. So let's see. Blake Griffin is out for rest. LaMarcus Aldridge will make his debut though. So be interested to see what happens with this game. That's a nice hidden angle there. Nice hidden angle for Junior there with Kyrie going up against Scary Terry. Hornets have been balling, Junior. What you got?
No, what I wanted to say is look out for Claxton. Claxton is going to take DeAndre's spot in that starting lineup. I don't know if the Nets knew that when they trade Allen, they'd get this kind of production of out of Claxton, but it actually might be a blessing in disguise because Claxton kind of looks like I'm not going to say he's better than Allen, but he looks like he could be at least as good as he is, and he seems to have more of a little bit of an offensive game. I'm curious to know what you guys think about that.
Yeah, Claxton may not see the floor now, though. I mean, you got LaMarcus Aldridge, who he's probably him and everything that I'm reading, BlackJack, that LaMarcus Aldridge and DeAndre Jordan are going to be fighting for the starting role. From what I take it, Claxton, whenever they got LaMarcus Aldridge, he's just basically taking even more of a back seat. Even though he has a lot of upside, it's just going to be hard for them to see the floor, especially with them running all the small ball they do. It'll likely be LaMarcus Aldridge and DeAndre Jordan fighting for minutes, basically. Even though it's not right, Junior.
It would be a mistake.
That's the way that they're going.
In my opinion, I think it would be a mistake, but I want to let BlackJack go.
It goes down to coaching.
I think you're right. I think it is a mistake, but it feels like with the way this team is constructed that it's what they're going to do. I mean, you don't bring LaMarcus Aldridge in and then, not have a conversation about what his role on that team is going to be, because he could have gone any number of places, and I'm pretty sure that he's going to get a lot of minutes. So, but listen, we all know Brooklyn is not a perfectly constructed team. They're flawed, fatally flawed, in my opinion, as we will see as this season wears on. So, we'll see how that goes. I was going to bet this game over, to be honest with you. I thought that there was some value on the total here, but there's just too many guys out for me in this game. There's too many missing pieces here, so it's going to be a pass for me. That number when you get the Nets and the Hornets together, that number 223, 222.5 now is a number you generally want to pounce on. But I think there's too many missing pieces here. So I'm going to pass on this.
Yeah, the problem is that the Hornets have been so high. They've covered 5 straight games, won 4 out of the last 5. Let's see, under streak. They're on a nice little under streak. 6 out of the last 7 games have went under, and it looks like 8 of the last 10 games have went under for the Hornets. So they're really slowing the pace down ever since LaMelo Ball hasn't been over there. Super scary, in my opinion, that they open Hornets here -1, to be honest with you. Junior, what you like?
No, what I was just going to say is this is the most quiet streak around. I don't know if you can call it a streak, but the Nets have won 19 of the last 21 games or 22 games, and KD's only played in 3 of those games. So as long as one of them 3 are on the court, they're getting W's. Now they're not exactly covering spreads, which is all we care about. So I will give you that. That's why I think this number, even with those guys out, is still a little bit short, in my opinion, anyway.
Got you. And like I say, the last thing I'll say about this game, the fact that it opened Hornets -1, I know it went Nets, but in my opinion, I think there was money that took it. So in all honesty, I do think it's one where the lines makers could be telling a numerical story with that Hornets -1. I stared at that shit for a while, just like literally, the odds makers think that the Hornets are going to win this game. So just take that for what it's worth. I've been reading a bunch of stuff this morning where guys are starting to realize that you may want to bet with Vegas and not bet against them, to be honest with you. So it's all different situations, to be honest with you. It's a true toss-up game. I'm not betting. If it was me, I would probably take the Hornets the way that they're balling right now. No Harden, he's been looking like the MVP. You got Aldridge over there, a new player integrated into the system who runs super fucking slow. But all right, we're not even start to all that. But next game up, my guys, Warriors versus Heat. Good game, my guys. Good game. Heat up to 3 now. Oladipo is playing. We kind of talk about it. New players integrated to the system. You're going to sit a couple players out so they can. I don't know what's going on with this game. I know it's a terrible spot. Me looking into it, Junior, this is a 5th game. We're going to go to BlackJack first here. 5th game in 8 days for the Heat here. I know they look sexy. I know that they've been playing a lot better here. This one where I think the Warriors could possibly catch them a little nappy. In the second half, I think it'll start to bode well for the Warriors, in my opinion. But revenge spot for the Heat, BlackJack. You like anything in this one?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad to see that Victor Oladipo is over his little cold, and he's going to be taking the floor tonight. I mean, when I saw that on the injury report, head cold, I don't. All I could hear is Jay in my ear saying how soft these guys are today. But it'll be nice to see Oladipo out on the floor for them. I am going to take Miami here. I think that you're right, Jay. This is a tough spot for them schedule-wise, but I think this Warriors team is just outmanned here by Miami, and I do think that Oladipo is going to give that team a boost. So I'm gonna go with the Heat here in his debut and lay the short number at home.
Got you. What you liking in this one, Junior? Your old Miami. So last year the Heat was Junior's team. Now this year it's the Nets. Junior, your ex squad, the Heat. Do you like them here today? Revenge spot versus the Warriors?
Not necessarily. I kind of actually like the under in this game. Both of these teams play defense. The Warriors actually are. If you look at the Warriors, I've seen people in the chat point out to me like, oh, well, the Warriors played bad defense in this game or in that game. Like, obviously, teams are going to have bad individual games. But we're talking about the totality of the season. The Warriors are actually in the bottom tier of the league offensively. The only wins they're getting is based on their defense. It's not based on their offense. So update your files because that's what's going on. The Warriors play defense. So do the Heat. And the Heat, being the home team, I think are going to want to slow down the pace. Because if it's an up and down game, that favors the Warriors' young players who are pretty terrible in the half court, if we're just going to be honest. I'm leaning under. 2 defensive teams. A lot of games been played by these teams recently, especially the Heat. And the only way Miami is going to be able to overcome the lack of rest over the last week or so with this amount of games is to play at a slower pace, which is what they prefer to do anyways. Take Golden State out of their comfort zone because the Warriors' biggest problem is that their young guys make a lot of mistakes. If you watch them closely, they make a lot of mistakes in the half court. They make a lot of turnovers. They're not really efficient scorers. So I just think that this is going to be a much more defensive game than people think. I think the winner of this game probably scores about 107 to 110 points. So I'm going to take the under 218.5.
It's a good look there, I must say, because I watched the Heat yesterday, guys. They went through these scoring droughts. The Pacers kind of locked them up. They do have tad bit better defense, obviously with Miles Turner over there than the Warriors do. But I mean, the Heat just went on these scoring droughts. I was on the Heat -1 yesterday. It pissed me off like 3 times. I couldn't even watch I don't see how you guys be betting on these games. Maybe I bet a little too much or something, but I can't watch these games. The rest be pissing me off. But the Heat just go through these scoring droughts, man. So they got down 14 points. They got down 44-30. You see what I'm saying? They go on a 13-1 run right there before the half, 43-45. I'm like, okay, he finna come out and smack these boys second half because they pissed me off and they went down 14 right there. Come out and smack them in the second half. What they do? They let these boys go 13-0 run, bro. I'm not even watching the game. I'm just like livid, just looking at my phone. I can't watch the games, guys. I'm way too emotional about it. I'll watch it afterwards, but the Heat, obviously, they came back after that. They went. That's what they'll do, Junior. They'll go on that 13-0 run or 0-13 run, and then they'll cut back into it with an 8-0 run. So I don't think they'll be able to do that and go on scoring droughts versus the Warriors tonight. They showed that they were kind of getting tired. They got down 15 repeatedly, had to expend a lot of energy to come back. 5th game in 8 days. You're coming off a road trip, first game at the house. I think it's a terrible spot for the Heat. I'm not making Warriors official. I'm waiting to see because with Oladipo in, I do think that we usually see them trying to rule somebody else out, like a Dragic or somebody else, just to let Oladipo get integrated to the system. If that happens, I think it's going to be bad for the Heat. And one last note on this one. If Oladipo comes out here and looks like he's, you know what I'm saying, the Oladipo from Indiana again, I'm going to be so pissed because he just gave no effort. It just goes to show you that these players don't care. Like, say if he comes out and balls tonight, he looks terrible in Houston. if he come out there and look like an A++ player, I'm gonna have no respect for him because that's basically him being happy that he's in Heat and actually finally playing basketball. I could see it though, him trying to ball out, but still would be Warriors or nothing for me. Like I say, that 5th game in 8 nights with travel, back-to-back, all of this with the Heat offense, the way they're looking now, as Warriors are nothing for me. I think that the schedule spot in 2 days, the Warriors having 2 days rest advantage could really come into play here, my guys. Magic versus Pelicans, next game up. But nobody's gonna bet on the Magic, guys. But this line's coming down from 10 to 8.5. You likely won't have Zion in this game. He's questionable. Reading up some reports about his thumb injury I was even reading that he could possibly be out for a little while. Probably dunking too hard. Come on, man. You take it easy on the rim, bro. So do some layups sometimes, man. You can't break your thumb, BlackJack. But do you like the Magic here, or you think the Pelicans still smack City?
I am taking the Orlando Magic +9 tonight. You know what, Jay? You said it the other day when we talked about the Magic in one of their games. Even though this is a team now of no-name guys, and guys who, are not very well-renowned, they're young guys fighting for contracts, right? And I'll say this. They're playing hard. They've covered every game since this fire sale. They've covered every single game. They are playing hard. The Pelicans are a team that you can't trust to blow anybody out. I mean, that's just a crazy thought. And without Zion Williamson, even less so. You're going to give me 9 points with a team full of guys that are playing hard against a team that you can't trust to win by double digits? Taking Orlando.
Got you. What did he say, Dave? Triggered J. Tourette syndrome. That's funny as shit. But yeah, BlackJack, I couldn't talk you out of it. I lean Magic myself. I think a lot of people are overlooking them. Obviously, they traded their top 3 players. They got some in return. They still got ballers. The main thing, BlackJack, is what I was saying is that they still have players that are going to play for contracts. It may not be big names, but they're still NBA players, and they're playing for the future. They want them a bag too. I want $10 million a year. I'm finna come out there and give me 20 points, 5 assists, Junior. You see what I'm saying? Do the Pelicans? Junior, I want to ask you this. Say if Zion is ruled out, which I think he will be, I don't think he's playing. How do you think that'll affect the Pelicans? Will they be as good, or will it hurt their defense or offense? What you thinking?
The thing with Zion is, first of all, just to answer that question properly, when are we going to start talking about Zion as a possible All-NBA candidate? I mean, he's balling out of his mind, bro. He's averaging like 30 a game his last 10. And he's putting up like Shaq-like field goal percentages. My boy's shooting like 60% from the field. It's kind of insane what he's doing. He literally could be a modern day Charles Barkley. But yeah, you can't just take that out of the lineup and expect things to click the same. First of all, here's my actual problem with the Pelicanos. I don't have their schedule in front of me, but I was looking at this last night. Go look at their schedule and look at their record against teams below 500. I promise you it is not good. They consistently step down to in class when they play teams that they're supposed to be better than. Even during this recent winning streak where they've been able to pile up some wins, they're playing teams that are supposed to be better than them, and they're stepping up in competition. So until I see proof that these guys are not going to take teams for granted, I can't be laying this many points with them. It just does not make any sense to me. So I actually think BlackJack is absolutely on the right side of this. It would be, especially if Zion is out, it's Orlando or nothing, bro.
Hey, the Magic have covered 4 straight games. They've covered what? They've covered 7 of their past 9 games as well. No lie. The Magic are 7-2 against the spread last 9. They're 4-0 against the spread last 4. And just real quick, the reason why I wouldn't look towards Pelicans here, they have a revenge game versus the Hawks tomorrow, to be honest with you. And another thing, they're coming off a couple of wins. You like the Pelicans coming into house. Like, I would lay this number versus the Magic if the Pelicans lost in their last game or coming off a 2-game losing streak. I would be comfortable laying with the Pelicans, even without Zion, because if the motivation's there, I mean, they're a better team. They can get up. They could smack these boys. It's just the motivation's not there, and that's what Junior's saying. Got the stat for you. They're 1-6. This is absolutely terrible. 1-6 against the spread last 7 games versus a team with a winning percentage below 40%. That's exactly what Junior's saying. That stat says that you take Magic or you stay away from this game. Obviously, the Pelicans could cover. They're in theory much better team, but I'm looking at they're off a couple of losses. It's not really the role that you want the Pelicans in. If they're off a loss, then you maybe look for them in Smack City motivation spot. They're not. I don't see them getting motivated. Maybe Stan Van Gundy coaching his old team. Possibly didn't he coach the Magic? Oh, did he coach the Magic guys, or am I tripping?
To the finals, yeah. He took him to the NBA finals.
Yeah. I know I ain't tripping. Yeah, with Dwight Howard. I know I ain't tripping.
Where Kobe was dunking on Dwight Howard, bro.
That's when that was peak Dwight Howard. That's when the Magic were nice. Like I remember that. The boys had who was that? Jameer Nelson.
Running point at like 6'9".
No, but I'm talking about Jameer Nelson too, though. Little short stuff out there, man. Yeah, them boys was balling. Yeah, Magic are nothing for me. I actually made Joe and BlackJack on there. I highly doubt Zion plays. He possibly could be out tomorrow too. But with them having a game tomorrow, I think it's all the more reason where they're probably like, oh, we got a reason to rest him. But I think that he really is injured though. That's what I was reading. He really does have a thumb injury. So just be interested to see. You want him out there dunking and stuff when he's already kind of injured, my guys. So, Magic are nothing for me now, and actually might have got a shot in the arm ever since those 3 players left. Next game up, guys, Hawks versus Spurs here. I want to know what you guys liking in this one. Oh, I'm seeing some injuries coming in for the Pistons right now. I want to know what you guys like in this one, man. Do we like the Spurs here, BlackJack or Junior? What we like in this one? You like the Spurs? You think the Hawks can finally get them a win? What you like in this one, my guy?
I think John Collins being out for the Hawks makes me not. I just can't look at the Hawks. They need all their dogs, and it feels like the Hawks have been on the road for like a month. I mean, I don't know how long this road trip has been. I'm trying to pull up their schedules. Internet's not really working for me. But yeah, they've been on the road for a long time. I think I told you I'm going to the Hawks game when I get back stateside next week. Go watch them play my baby Bulls. But until John Collins gets back, I don't think they could be a bet-on team, especially not on the road. The problem is on the flip side, San Antonio, they're looking a lot like the team we saw last year as opposed to the team that we saw up until the All-Star break, which really, really worries me. So I'm just kind of off this game because I just don't see an advantage that I think that I'm willing to invest in.
Got you. I do, man. I must say it's a tough game, though. True toss, I must say, BlackJack. What do you think? I'll be honest with you guys. When Collins went out in the last game, that's when they started to come back versus the Suns. To be honest with you, as soon as he went out, they were getting their ass smacked. They immediately made a run in that third quarter. So them boys immediately came back and really possibly should have covered their game versus a much better Suns team, I must say, BlackJack.
Yeah, you're right. Everything you said is right. And still, I can't pull the trigger on this one. I don't know. I've got a weird feeling right now about this Spurs team. Like I feel like no matter what side I'm on, I'm wrong about them right now. The Spurs and I are going through a rough patch at the moment. We'll get through it. We'll work it out. But right now, I'm steering clear of this. I don't know. I don't have a read on this.
Got you. Spurs 0-4 against the spread last 4, following a straight up win more than 10 points. Also, a little funky stat, 1-6 against spread last 7 Thursday games, whatever. Take that how you want. But it's a nice little revenge spot for the Hawks here. And you're right, Junior. In my opinion, the only thing that bodes well for the Spurs here is the fact they've been at the house. This is the 7th game of their 9-game homestand. So they've been at the house forever. And the Hawks, on the other hand, this is the 7th game of their road trip, in my opinion. So you hate that fact that they've been on the road forever, but I mean, this road trip hasn't been a good one. They're 2-4 so far on the road. So sometimes when the team's on the road, that gives them a chance to be together. You don't have really distractions. You don't really have all this stuff having to deal with the house and stuff. So they're coming off a tough loss, a tough spot or whatever versus a much better team, which we know coming over there off the West. So they played the Nuggets and the Suns. Nobody really expected them to win those games. I don't know about you guys, but I thought the Hawks probably covered, but I knew they probably weren't going to beat the Suns there. You lost versus the Clippers. I'm sure sure pissed themselves. They were up 15 points in their game. Clippers came all the way back to win. They beat the Lakers. Obviously, LeBron went down in Elwyn, even though they were in the game when he was still in. And they beat the Warriors. So 2-4 on this road trip, guys. It is the first game of a back-to-back tomorrow. The Hawks. I'll be honest with you. I think the Hawks get this one done today, and I think it's a fade spot for them tomorrow on the last game of their road trip and back-to-back in New Orleans. But tonight, as far as tonight, I like the Hawks. Give me the Hawks top play. It's the only play for me today. Hawks -1 for me. And to be honest with you, no John Collins. Hawks been on the road forever, and the line moved from +1.5 to -1 for the Hawks. I absolutely love it. I think this is a nice spot for the Hawks. I think they match up well with the Spurs. Spurs playing third game 4 nights. I know they're at the house. It's a back-to-back still. Just played 2 tough games versus the Kings, running up and down the court the whole freaking time. Give me the Hawks, my guys. Hawks -1 official for me. Let's go to the next game. Nuggets versus the Clippers. It's either you're getting a haircut or you're eating spicy nuggets. I'm messing with y'all, man. I make myself laugh sometimes, Junior. But Clippers here, 1.5 point underdogs here. Did open up at -1. I think Paul George has already been ruled out for this one, so not full strength for the Clippers. Can they get it done like they did versus the Bucks, or would they slide like they did versus the Magic here, Junior?
I want to take the Clippers money line. I really, really do. But there's 2 things that you can't really ignore. Aaron Gordon is helping Denver on both sides of the court. He's actually playing the defense that, if you saw Aaron Gordon in college, he looked like he was going to come into the NBA and be literally an elite defender. He hasn't been that. He hasn't been a bad defender, but he hasn't been an elite defender. I think that. And this is just me like going out on the limb. I'm just guessing. You're Aaron Gordon. You've been in Orlando your whole career, a team that's kind of just like running in place, not really going anywhere. Now all of a sudden you get thrown into Denver, a team that with you added to the roster, like everybody in town is saying like, oh, Aaron Gordon might be that piece that takes me over the top. I feel like it put a battery in his back, and he's playing to the level that we would have expected him to be when he first came into the league. If you look at the numbers, and again, I hate throwing out too many numbers because it's such a small sample size, but the offensive rating with him on the court and the defensive rating with him on the court is like, it's insanity. It's like they're like plus 30 something per 100 possessions, which is like, it's like video game numbers, right? So it's not really realistic. But in this situation, now you take out Paul George from the equation and Serge Ibaka, right? I'm pretty sure Serge Ibaka is not playing either. If you watch Clippers games regularly, and I feel like I do, teams get to the basket real easy against this Clippers team. They don't really have any rim protections. Ibaka is not a blocker from OKC. He's more like stand outside and shoot some jumpers and maybe get some blocks in situations where you don't see him coming, but he's not really a stopper. I feel like the fact that you can get to the rim against this team kind of bodes well for Denver. Their offense is just absolutely on fire right now, and now their defense is starting to click, and now you're giving me a short number. I kind of have to take Denver. It feels like maybe I'm talking too much. I'm trying to convince myself to not as to why I'm taking this square-ass play, because it does seem like a square play. But
it does, bro. I must say.
You know what I'm saying? Like but it just seems like the right side. Again, at full strength, I'm taking the Clippers. Mm-hmm. At less than full strength, especially the way they looked against Orlando, I think Denver is building something, and they're starting to feel some kind of like they're starting to feel like they belong. You know what I'm saying? Like they showed you last year in the playoffs that they could be one of the big boys, but now that they got another, I guess, not an all-star, but just below that all-star tier player that can again I think benefits really well from playing with the Joker, who is a pass-first big man. I just think that they have all the pieces they need to at least attempt to go on a run, because we always talk about the one thing that Denver never really had before was the consistency that night over night they're going to show up and give you their best effort. I'm still not even 100% sure that's changed just because they added Gordon, but it looks like it though. So I say all of that to say Denver official play.
Got you. And I just want to say something real quick, Junior. Just because it's a public side, it doesn't mean it's not going to cash. Yeah. It's 2 sides to the game. One side's right side, one is the wrong. So just because it's a public side, just want to let you guys know, just because it's super public or everybody's on it, doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to cash. It's all about getting on the right side. It's just
by the way, And not to interrupt you, Jam, sorry. The one thing I forgot to mention is I think that the fact this is a nationally televised game means a lot to Denver. I think Denver's going to try and show show the nation, the world, exactly who they think they are. So I just think that they're going to come out swinging for the fences, especially, again, these guys know what games are on prime time. They're going to get up for that game. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I want to lean the Nuggets as well, guys. I do. I'll tell you why. I'll give you reasons for the other side after BlackJack, my guy. BlackJack, what are we doing this one? Are you eating spicy nuggets, say?
Yeah, brother, I'm eating the nuggets. I'm taking an extra spicy tonight.
With sweet and sour or
with
ranch?
some sriracha sauce.
Ooh, yeah, like a little sriracha. Ooh, yeah, I like it. We're extra spicy. Junior, everything you said is spot on, right? I mean, Aaron Gordon is a huge addition. I think it was a great trade at the deadline. The Clippers are missing way too many dudes here. Paul George might have had another braid fall out, so he's gone. Rondo's not there. Ibaka's out. Beverly's out. Like, there's just too many dudes not on the floor here for the Clippers. And Jay, I think you alluded to it beautifully. This game means more to Denver than it does to the Clippers, right? I mean, Clippers know who they are. They know what the deal is. They're getting ready for the playoffs. The Nuggets are still trying to forge that identity and really fit into the Western Conference. So I think, yeah, this game, I get it. It's a public side, but I mean, what the hell am I going to do? Everything says Denver here. So I'm taking Denver.
Got you. To be honest with you, just real quick, and there's no reason why I'm staying off this game, because when I can make a case for both sides, I usually do. I know everything looks good for the Nuggets, to be honest with you. I mean, the fact that Paul George's not out there as well, I'm just like, why is this line like this? Last night, I'm looking at it really deep, and I mean, I can't forget this, guys. When a team has playoff revenge like the Clippers, I mean, and I could be off. I mean, they could still lose here, but still, when a team has playoff revenge like the Clippers do versus the Nuggets, you want to kick their ass every single time. And trust me, I know this because when the Nuggets lost to the Blazers, they won the next 6 or 7 games where there was no revenge for the Blazers. None of this. So I know my guard, the Shark, he likes the Nuggets today. He's saying it's a revenge spot for them. They play well. They revenge losses well on the road, and they have been all year. And I know this is a revenge spot for the Nuggets because the Clippers beat them up early this year in Denver when I think it was
on Christmas Day.
Yeah. So, and it was a full squad for the Clippers. But you know why? They come out more motivated. Like, the Clippers will come out and want to beat the Nuggets every single time for the way that they did them in the bubble. So, and another fact, like I said, if the Clippers weren't coming off probably one of their worst losses of the season as 11 point, not the worst loss, but a pretty bad one, 11 point loss. You were favored by 11 and you lost to the Magic, obviously an uninspiring spot. So they're coming off a terrible game at the house. They hadn't had to do any travel, and they're the home team, so they're missing Paul George, but these guys still have defenders. I just think the Nuggets possibly been a little tad bit too hot ever since Gordon's came over there. They hadn't really showed any flaws. You played Philly without Embiid. You played the Hawks, who they just gave up in that game. You beat the Pelicans. Obviously, that was before that, but I like the Nuggets more when they're coming in motivated. Like, I know they're coming in to play, but they're coming off 3 straight wins, just a little, in my opinion, riding a little too high. The Nuggets are just one of those type of teams, and I'm not trying to talk anybody off their play. I'm just letting you guys know, teaching you how I look at these games. The Nuggets, they are a type of team that they play better when they have a super high motivation spot, or they're coming off losses, or they've been getting their ass kicked or something like that. That's when the Nuggets are at their best. And the Clippers coming off their loss at the hell, like, I'm sure they're going to come to play as well. I just don't think it'll be that easy. Everybody's saying, you know what I'm saying, oh, this Nuggets going to be easy. I really think people think it's just going to be a tad too easy. Usually when that happens, we see some crazy stuff. So just letting you guys know the way I'm looking at it. I want to lean to the Nuggets as well, but I just hate the fact that the Clippers are at the house coming off such a bad loss, such a gut-wrenching loss. And you just beat the Bucks, the mighty Bucks, without Paul George and every player that they'll be without tonight. So just showing you guys that the Clippers can still play a good game with this same lineup. It's all about these motivation spots, and just know that they will come to play versus the Nuggets every single time. Like, they really hate this team, the way that they put them out the bubble. It's definitely going to be in their minds again. They want to win this game. So just letting you guys know, it could be easy money with the Nuggets. Just trying to let you guys know how I look at the games, my guys. BlackJack, break them off with your official plays.
All right, we're going with the Sixers -10, the Heat -3, the Magic +9, and the Spicy Nuggets -2.
Got you. Hey, hope you cash them, my guy. Hope you cash them. Junior, break them off with your official plays.
Yeah, Philly first half -5.5. What was my other? Oh, Brooklyn -3. Sorry, I got them at 2.5. They're at 3.5. I'll take them at 3.5. I don't really care. I'm not scared. And Denver -1.5.
Got you. Just Hawks for me, my guys. Hawks for me. Looks like it went back to the +1. So give me +1 on the Hawks. Hawks money line. I like for them to win the game. Take it for what it's worth. It's my top play today, my guys. Top play. Like I say, keep my eye out for those injuries. Know we're doing an early show. Anything can happen. Nothing's guaranteed, my guys. So we appreciate everybody for tuning in. You guys hit the like button, subscribe, and come back and join us tomorrow. We out.